It was hot, and I was sweating so much I could physically feel my body overheat. I was so enraged with anger. I wanted to scream. I wanted to fight. I wanted revenge. As I sat there overheating in the middle of a cold concrete floor surrounded by four walls, I couldn't comprehend how I got there. I was innocent, and yet I sat in a jail cell like a caged animal. How could I be arrested, charged, and locked up like a criminal if I committed no crime? Now I know what you're probably thinking. You're thinking innocent people don't go to jail. And I used to think the same way too. But there I was, trapped in a cell, in solitude with my own thoughts. We as a society have this expectation that good things come to those who work hard, do the right thing, show respect to others, and abide by the rules. At least that was the contract that I made with our government. If I do my part, if we all do our part, then all is well. I was living the American dream. I was a sergeant with the sheriff's department, a training officer who people looked up to. I was full of life and saving up money to buy my first home. My future was bright. Well, until it wasn't. The moment that changed my life forever was when I heard that heavy steel door slam shut and the lock click. I replayed it again in my mind. It was an ordinary night. My friend and coworker Matt invited me out for a drink. So we decided to go to the Buffet Bar. Now, this bar was famous for being Tucson, Arizona's oldest bar since 1934. And if I recall it correctly, it kind of smelled like 1934 too. Ooh. There were two doors on each side of the bar that you could enter or exit from. And not a window in the whole place, not one. When we arrived, we saw 10 other coworkers celebrating another officer's birthday, so we decided to stay and have a great time. But at the end of the night, near close, the bartender said, "Last call?" At this time, Matt went outside and he took a smoke with a couple of the other officers. I went to the bathroom. But when I came out of the bathroom, it was like everyone had vanished, like they left in a hurry, except for 3 people drinking a beer at the bar. I said, "Where is everybody?" A man said, "They're all outside." He then proceeded to say, "Someone's looking for you. They keep asking, 'Where's the black girl? Where's the black girl?'" Before I can ask him who, Matt rushed into the door. He saw me and he said, "D, I'm ready to go now. Let's go." And he ran out the other bar door. I tried to take a second and try to figure out why was Matt rushing me so rudely to leave. When I stepped outside, it was dark, but I could vaguely see a crowd across the street. I thought Matt was in that crowd, but he called my name to the left, and I asked him, "Are any of our guys over there?" Then Matt said, "D, everyone left, let's go." So I got in the car, we left to get a bite to eat, and I went home. The next day, I got a call from a police detective that wanted to ask me a couple questions about the night before. I thought this was a little weird, but I went down to the station anyway to answer his questions. During questioning, the police detective pulled out a laptop and he showed me a fight that happened outside the bar at night and was caught on camera. That's when I figured it out. Why I was in the bathroom at that bar? 6 off-duty officers, my coworkers, Matt included, got into a fight with 4 civilians that night. I couldn't believe it. The detective said he was done with his questioning and he let me go home. He said everything checked out. But 2 weeks later, I was charged and arrested for a felony 3 hindering prosecution. Let me explain. When I left the bar that night with Matt to go get a bite to eat, the law saw it as me hindering and preventing Matt's arrest. Matt never told me he was involved in a fight. I mean, he knew if he shared that information, me as a sergeant would have an obligation to report him. That's why I was so angry in that jail, sitting in the jail cell for a crime I did not commit, a crime I did not witness, a crime I never knew occurred. Back on that cold concrete floor, I felt like anxiety was setting in, like my body was out of control, like my mind was slipping away from me. Come on, Yvonne, you're stronger than this. You're stronger than them. Just focus. I closed my eyes and I took a deep breath in and out. They have no power over you. They have no power over you. It's what I kept chanting as my mantra. I quickly realized and experienced the clarity to accept this thing I cannot change. I sat in jail for one full day and I was released at midnight. Even though I was released, my reputation was ruined. I was fired from the sheriff department. I was not allowed to leave the state of Arizona. My mugshot was on KGUN 9 News, the front page of the Arizona Daily Star, plastered across Google and YouTube. Being a defendant in the criminal justice system is hard to say the least. I quickly realized the social contract between me and the government, the criminal justice system, was really unfair and unjust. Now, there were a lot of disparities in the way I was treated and the way my 6 co-defendants were treated. Let's take charges, for example. They were charged of felony 6 assault. I was charged of felony 3 hindering prosecution, way worse than a felony 6. We all got plea offers. Their plea offer was no prison time, 6 months probation, and once they completed that successfully, their felony charge got reduced to a misdemeanor. I wasn't so lucky. My plea offer was 2.5 years of prison time. That was it. They went on with their lives after 6 months. I didn't take the plea offer. I mean, would you? So because I didn't take the plea offer, the judge ordered me to be in court once a month in Superior Court until a trial date was set. For 2 years, I awaited trial, and then a trial date was set. But 2 weeks before I was supposed to go and defend myself in front of a judge and jury, I got notification my felony charge had been dismissed. They pronounced it as, the Pima County Attorney's Office has no evidence against Yvonne Roxanne Davis for this charge. Wait, that was it? 2 years, it took them 2 years to figure out that they had no evidence against me for a charge I was arrested and jailed for? I mean, the detective knew that the day he talked to me, everything checked out. 2 years of my life were disrupted. Why was this? Was the disparity in treatment because of my race? Was it because of my gender? I honestly don't know. But what I do know is my 6 co-defendants, my 6 co-workers, none of them look like me. They physically assaulted innocent people on the street, and they got off with a slap on the wrist. When people ask me about this experience, I think about how much my life has changed. I think how I thought I knew how society worked. You know, we give up some of our freedoms for protection for our government. I thought, just like you, we were innocent until proven guilty. I thought Lady Justice was blind. But that was not the case in my situation. Navigating the criminal justice system and truly experiencing a broken social contract between me and the government has left me wondering, is there truth to the concept of life, liberty, and justice for all? I used to be ashamed to tell the story, but not anymore. I realized this story makes me who I am today. This story is a reminder for all of us to think about the delicate contract that binds us together in this shared space we call society. And what better place than for me to share the injustice that I experienced than right here in this forum with all of you under the very same contract.